Hi everyone, I'm back in my studio trying to keep warm. I don't know if you've watched the news, but we just had a major snowstorm. A second day of fall. It's kind of crazy, but we're staying warm and my little dogs are under their covers. I'll have to maybe put a picture. I see Pippa underneath her blankie, so maybe I can slip in a picture while I'm talking about this, about her. So I want to just kind of show you the process of how I sew in my signatures, and it's probably redundant, it's probably things that you have seen already, but I just thought might as well show the process, and who knows, maybe one of my children will watch this and learn how to make a journal so we can play up here together. What I do first is I make sure that my signatures are all in the position that I want them to be, and I make sure that nothing is upside down, even though I check and I double check. It's crazy how after I stitch them in my book I realize that, okay, how on earth did I miss that? It's upside down. So once I get them in a place that I want, I just grab 4 paper clips and secure the pages together, and I kind of open them up so when I put them in my little hole puncher, I know that's not going to be shifting. Then what I do after that is I grab one of my templates that I have made ahead of time. Most of my journals are about the same size and same width of spine, so I have these on hand. Since this journal is going to have 3 signatures, I just chose the one that has 3 holes versus the others that I have. Like over here, this one is for 4 signatures, and then I have one for 5 signatures. That way it just kind of saves me some time having those templates waiting for me. I then line this up to where I want it, and I use my pokey tool. I know there's a different term for this, but this is what I've always called it all these years. And then I poke through where I need them to be, and I do this using my carpet floor. So I will be right back. Hold on. Alright, now that I have those holes in place, I just run my little pokey tool back through just to make it a little bit bigger so I can run my needle in there. And I don't know if you notice on my template that I have it marked which is the top. The reason I have that written is just so when I am placing it on my journal, I know which way is the top, and then when I measure out on my signatures, I just want to make sure that it is going to be the same distance. So as long as I always have the top on the top, I know that they're going to be about the same. Now that I have my journal cover ready, what I like to do then is just measure out where the center is, and wherever my little piercing here, then I mark it in the center of the fold. I will do that to each one. Stitching in my signatures used to be my worst favorite thing to do, but I have made it a little easier on me. Instead of using my old trusty pokey hole like I used to, I have switched over to using a bigger punch for the signatures. That way, when I am gliding my needle through, it is so much easier to find. I used to always just struggle pulling it through, and like I said, it was my least favorite part. But because of this great tool, it just makes it that much easier for me. And I was afraid that having a bigger hole was going to make it look ugly, but you cannot even see that it is larger. I just go in here and line up my holes. And I try to keep my pages in the order that they need to be. Not that it really matters, they're basically the same, but it's just, I like to keep track. Oh, that one's a thick one. And another thing about having the larger holes, it doesn't have to be exact. You have a little leeway. So here's the back side. That is right in the center of the fold. This one is right in the center, but this one's a little off, but it is not going to make a difference because it has that little give. So that is a great thing to know. People think everything has to be exact, precise, and these junk journals are so forgiving, which is a good thing, because I tell you what, I am not perfect. I am picky, but it's nice that it's forgiving. Okay, flip it around for the last one. And I don't know how this is going to go with filming, because usually I do this kind of sitting in my lap. I never have it where I have to keep it on my table. So I grab my wax string here. It's brown. I don't know what else to tell you. I measure out about 14, 15, 16, 17 inches, I guess. What did I do with my scissors? Oh, here they are, tucked behind. You don't want to waste it, but you don't also want to be struggling with using a short piece. The needle I have is just I don't even know what kind of needle it is, but it has a nice big head on it. And I make sure it's going the right direction. Even though, like I said, even though I check this, it's amazing how I can turn them upside down. So as you can see, my needle just easily goes through this nice hole. That's why I love that big Chickadee. Or place it through the center first. Leave a little tail. Through the other. See how nice that is? Like I said, I'm sure I'm not teaching you guys anything new, but this truly has made life a little easier having that. Is it a Chickadee? What is this called? Oh, crocodile. Crocodile too. The big beast. Like I said, keeping in frame. So when I come back through the center hole, I like to make it so I'm on either side of the thread, and I think I need to pull this way. Pull it tight, and the way I check to see if it's tight enough is like this is pretty loose. I want it to be kind of like a guitar string. I want to make sure my little strings are not in there because I love that messy, messy look. Okay, let me check. Oh yeah, that's better. And I just do a little double knot there. I probably don't need to do a double knot because it's wax string and it's not going to slip. So it's probably a little bit of overkill, but I just want to make sure I take off the paper clips, and then I like to fold my pages, crease them up really nicely. And this is where my center signature is, and what I have done before is did this little stitching. That way it's going to look like I actually sewed the center piece. I do that ahead of time. So I just use my double-sided tape and run it on the side. And I love hiding that center signature this way. Try and make all my little stringies come out, because I think that adds a lot of fun, messy detail. So this is one of those tricks that everyone needs to know. When you are gluing your signatures together, you don't want to just lay it flat and glue them. Otherwise, when you lift up, for some reason, it will be a big pocket. A loose pocket is what I guess what I'm trying to say. So the best way to do it is have your book open and just fold these straight up. That way your pocket's not going to be loose. And I'm not sure why that is, but when I first started, I had made that mistake, and so that is probably my number one trick. Like I said, this is probably nothing new to you guys, but it's nice. So another fun thing that you can do with your pockets is, I know I have a template, let's see, is before you stitch it up, this template is for a ribbon. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, I can show you. So I have this little template, and I just gonna mark the top, and make sure I grab the right punch here. It is the punch that just does these little slits. It's great for ribbons. Just line it up to where that top line was. I don't know why that's, let's see, let me clean that up. I don't know if my punch is breaking down, but it's like oily. The handle is. So let's see, where was I? You can, let's see. Lace your ribbon through, or this is not ribbon, but fiber. This isn't anything new either. It's just kind of fun. And I would just leave those strings like that. And that is where you can hide your signature, or your, yeah, where you stitch your signature. But isn't that kind of pretty? We could also do a ribbon. Let's see what I have here. Oopsie. These little details, doesn't take much time, but they add so much when you're going through your journal. It makes every page a page that you can't wait to turn to see what you got. I had no idea I was going to show you this, but I guess if it crossed my mind, I should bring it up. I just want you guys to have all these different fun elements in your journals. There, like that. Isn't that pretty? All right, now back to sewing in my signatures. Like I said, I get about 16 inches. Grab my next signature. And I'll probably just go ahead and speed this up for you guys. Okay, well, that is as simple as it really gets. It is no harder than what you just saw. Super easy. I'm really pleased with it. So the closure is in place. I have my pockets. Now all I need to do is decorate a couple pages. I will be putting something inside the center of the signatures, but basically this is what it's going to be. Just need to pimp out the little pockets and put some tags, but I am so glad I got to show that to you. It looks really pretty. They're nice and tight, and I guess that is all for now. I have 2 of them completed. I have 17 journals ready to be stitched, and then I'll start on the second half of them. Once again, thank you so much for coming by, and like I said, this is it for now. Bye.